So we've seen Dancing with the Stars. It's been on twice now, and we had our first double elimination. So let's go over the details. First, we had Alex and Val. They danced to Jive, and they scored a 21. It was fun. It was energetic, and Alex kept up with Val, and I think they did pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great way to start off the show. Carrie Ann, she really enjoyed it. She, stood up and cheered. She was absent last week, but yes, she was there. She showed absolutely no signs of being sick. And I enjoyed having her back. They had a little bit different format with the judges today. What they did was, since it was one hit wonder, the third judge, when they were giving their opinion, had to cut it down to one word. We all know that Bruno had a very hard time with that, but he did his best and it seemed to work. Next, we had Danielle and Pasha. They danced a cha-cha. Rhythm of the Night was the name of the song. The judges saw potential, but noted there were still some timing issues, and they scored a 19. I thought it was pretty good, and I really enjoyed Danielle. Do I think she's going to win? I don't know, but she can make it at least up to the quarterfinals or semifinals, in my opinion, if she doesn't have any major screw ups. Then we had Andy and Emma. They did a tango to It's Raining Men. Carrie Ann said it was improved. Derek, very entertaining. Bruno, a bit frightening. I was a little disappointed. What can I say? And the tango is one of my favorite dances. I like the tango. I enjoy the Argentine tango a little bit better, but I still like the tango. And the tango seems to get higher scores than other dances. They got a 16, and actually, they were safe. Then we had Lauren and Brandon. They danced a foxtrot. Carrie Ann said she was mesmerized. Derek, elegant. Bruno, classic. 21 was their score. I think that was a fair score. Remember, this is only the second show. You can't give really high scores unless something's super outstanding because they need room to grow and they have to build up to those higher scores. They were safe. Next, we had Jordan, Giles, and Ezra. They did a jive to Maniac. And Bruno said, going for the gold. I agree. I thought it was an excellent dance. Carrie Ann said it was like watching Tina Turner. Now, I think she's one of the favorites, and I could see her going into the finals. Will she win? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's still pretty early, but I definitely think that she is one of the top contenders. So we'll have to keep an eye on her. Then we had Corey and Jenna. They did a cha-cha to Baby Got Back. They scored a 15. Judges said weak in technique, lowest score of the night. Yeah, they were eliminated, and probably rightfully so, in my opinion. I know they like to keep some of these bigger names around a little bit longer, but it is a dance competition, and you do have to judge the dancing. Then there was Jen and Jan. They did a quick step. Carrie Ann said, "You're very good." Derek noted minor posture issues. They got a 22. They were safe. I thought it was entertaining. Quick step. It's not one of my favorite dances. To me, it's a little bit old fashioned. And although I do like seeing it on a dance competition because it's very fast and very hard to do, it just seems like it's out of an old movie. And for me, I actually took ballroom dancing and I wanted to totally not do quick step because there's absolutely no use for it out in the real world. It's not like you're gonna go on the dance floor and do a quick step unless you're in some really old-fashioned type of party where they have the full orchestra and so forth. And even so, I would rather do a different type of dance that's a little bit more up to date, maybe like a fast foxtrot or something like that. Then one of everybody's favorite, Robert Irwin and Whitney, they did dance the tango. Strong presence is what the judges said, good control, and they did tie for the top with a score of 22. I really like Robert. I think that little bit that he did in the middle, a little unnecessary, but you got to bring your own personality into it, right or wrong. Then you had Elaine and Alan. They did a jive to Hey Mickey. It was full of energy. The judges wanted a little bit sharper turns. Again, one of my favorite couples. Do I think that they'll win? No, but again, hopefully they'll get pretty far because Elaine's pretty good, and I really like her, and I really like the way that she brings the character out. And Alan, he is one of my favorite pros. They scored a 21. Then we had Barron and Britt. They did a samba. It was stylish, but it had a slip up. They didn't connect fully, according to the judges. They scored an 18, and they were the second elimination. Whitney and Mark Ballas. Now, the pro dancers, Mark Ballas has always been one of my favorite. I think he's a great choreographer, and they did a cha-cha. They scored a 22. Confident, sharp. Bruno was especially impressed. Of course, they were saved because we already know who was eliminated. Aria and Gleb, they danced the tango. Smooth, steady, and a consistent performance. 21. And I think it was a deserved score. Always room for improvement. Then there's Dylan and Danielle. They danced a samba. It was a fun routine according to the judges. Some rough edges, but they had a good energy, and I agree with them. And they scored a 20. So they were safe. So let's go over this. Top of the leaderboard was Jordan, Jen, Robert, and Whitney. And they were all tied with a 22. The bottom of the leaderboard was Corey with 15. Double elimination. Corey and Barron were eliminated. So what did you think? Let me know in the comments.